Hello, my name is James, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Picking up from last week, Michaela is on the scene when a bus is pulled out of the water. Griffin, the driver, is somehow alive and is getting rushed to the hospital. This episode opens up with a flashback to the day Griffin wound up in that van. Him and two of his friends robbed a bank, but before they could get away, Griffin shot them both. The scene feels very reminiscent of the Joker in The Dark Knight when he got rid of his co-conspirators. Nevertheless, Manifest makes it clear that this is a bad dude. Despite Zeke's warning that Griffin is probably the wolf in Cal's drawing, Michaela tries to reach out. When Griffin begins experiencing a calling at the hospital and crying out for help, she's there to offer comfort. Upon discovering his knowledge of a future terrorist attack could save lives, he changes his tune from a helpless victim to a conniving criminal. He rebukes Michaela's request about learning his calling because he intends to cut a deal. If the NYPD lets him walk on the two murder charges, then he'll tell them where the bomb is hidden. Manifest runs into some weird territory where Michaela gets to interrogate Griffin at the precinct. She doesn't have much info on the guy, so she asks her brother to dig up anything he can. Ben and his family are quickly able to figure out that he was in foster care with one brother. It's a bit weird the NYPD wouldn't have the foster care tip in their system because Griffin was already in the system. When Michaela doesn't make much headway with Griffin, Grace decides to step in. She visits his foster mother to try and get a bit more background about the guy. However, his foster mother doesn't have anything nice to say. In fact, she tells Grace that Griffin is a monster who doesn't deserve a second chance. If that doesn't convince you Griffin is terrible, Michaela discovers another bad fun fact. He got away with no jail time in a different murder despite the clerk being shot dead. Griffin turned first and claimed his brother had been the one to pull the trigger. Said brother went to jail where he eventually died. One problem, Griffin was the one who actually killed the clerk. He threw his brother under the bus, and because of that he lost the one person he cared about even a little bit. Unsurprisingly, Michaela is unable to get Griffin to flip. He eventually cuts a deal with the feds which lets him walk on the murder charges. At the crime scene, the bomb squad does find the explosive, but Michaela has another calling. The wolf is in the crowd and he's growling at her. Whoever Griffin is, he's definitely going to be a problem for the Stone family. Speaking of the Stone family, Ben is tasked with keeping an eye on Sanvi. Manifest makes the surprising but welcome decision to deal with the aftermath of her kidnapping. She's not like Michaela, who deals with these high-stakes situations every day. The trauma from the experience leaves Sanvi jumping or hiding from loud noises which remind her of the incident. As a doctor, she knows these are all signs of PTSD, but she's not ready to talk to a therapist about it. Ben is able to take a break from research to sit with her so the two can have a heart-to-heart. Honestly, Ben and Sanvi are easily the one pairing almost every Manifest fan can get behind, and we hope to see more of them. The more complex relationship drama comes in the form of a burgeoning love triangle between Jared, Michaela, and Zeke. Social media seems to be split on the three, with Twitter adamantly supporting Jared and Reddit throwing its love towards Zeke. Manifest is most likely angling towards a Jared and Michaela endgame. Which is probably fine. The two were cute throughout the first half and the actors have enough chemistry to sell it. However, Jared's marriage ended literally one day ago. There's an argument to be made he was never in love with Lourdes, so it doesn't matter. Yet, even if he wasn't in love, he did love her. His relationship with Michaela will probably happen, but the show needs to make sure the two aren't rushed together without dealing with their issues first. There's also something tragic about the fact these two have terrible timing. Hard Landing puts Jared in the position Grace was in throughout the first half of the season, and it's not pretty. There are certain aspects of his position which are understandable. When Zeke is caught attempting to break into an apartment, Jared wants to book him. As a detective, it makes sense that he would be suspicious of the new guy. Unfortunately, there are other instances which make him come off as a bit petty. Namely, at the beginning of the episode, he's upset to learn that Michaela didn't tell him about Zeke. He lets Zeke know the two will be having a talk, which confuses Zeke. Luckily, Ben warns him about Jared's past with Michaela. However, their first real interaction comes when Jared invites out Michaela for breakfast. Their relationship is already complicated enough and she's already expressed her desire for space. Knowing she's been up all night, Zeke suggests she take a nap instead, which angers Jared. Ultimately, Michaela winds up letting Zeke walk because the apartment he was trying to break into was his mother's. Jared scoops up his water cup as he walks out to probably run his DNA. As Michaela fans, we can see her ending up with either one of them happily. However, we hope Manifest doesn't rush her into a relationship just for the sake of being in one. She's been through a lot these past few weeks and it'll be healthy for her to focus on herself for a bit. Since the series has been a bit cagey when it comes to Zeke's past, we're already betting his mother is someone we'll recognize. The most popular theory is that she's actually the Major. This would certainly set up a complex relationship with the rest of the Flight 828 passengers about where his loyalties lie. While Hard Landing isn't the best episode of Manifest, it did offer some fun character-driven moments. Michaela's adamant desire to do good sharply contrasts Griffin's self-indulgent nature. Sanvi's PTSD arc is an interesting avenue to explore and something which doesn't get a lot of attention on television. Olive even gets a few solid scenes throughout the episode now that she's joined the Stone investigation team. Her call out to MySpace was a hilarious one-liner perfectly delivered by Luna Blaze. Heading into the finale, it's unclear which answers the show will answer for us. In an interview with TV Line, Matt Long, who plays Zeke, revealed his character will be a part of some major cliffhangers. This seems to tease he'll probably be returning for season 2 if NBC chooses to renew the show. The promo for next week makes it seem like he'll wind up being a bad guy, but we're guessing the series wouldn't give away something so big in a finale teaser. What are your Manifest theories after this episode? Are you prepared for the finale? Be sure to tell us in the comments section below.